Hello, everyone. Good morning. I welcome you all to day one revision of AFM, that is Advanced Financial Management. I am Paritosh Panchal, and we have designed this over the next 4 5 days, wherein we'll be discussing certain important topics, solving some questions, and today we will be mainly going through certain exam tips that will, help you maybe push through and clear the exam, right? So, without further ado, let's begin. So, as I've told you, my name is Paritosh Panchal. I have been teaching for the last 6 years, very passionate about helping you all. I really enjoy that. I like helping people out, and it gives me great joy when my students clear, right? A little bit about Lakshya. Well, we are India's number one commerce institute. We are also a certified platinum ACCA learning partners. On a consistent basis, you could go through our website. We have been producing rankers. That's a testimony to our both the hard work of our students as well as the institution. Along with ACCA, we provide all sort of commerce courses. So you have your CMA US, you have Indian CA, Indian CS, BCom, a lot more, the whole gamut. Now, we are flexible in terms of how we deliver the sessions. We have the regular offline sessions, which are physical classrooms. We have online sessions, which are on Zoom. Okay, they are live classes, but online. You can ask your question, full interactive. And then we have something which is hybrid, which are pre recorded sessions, so you can watch at your convenience. And then there are certain live sessions wherein you can ask your doubts and questions, right? So the plan for the next few days would be that we'll be discussing three major topics. That is advanced investment appraisal, advanced risk management. These are actually the two most important topics from AFM point of view. And we would also be discussing corporate reconstruction and reorganization, right? Um, Now, obviously, in 4 5 days, it won't be possible to complete entire chapters. So what we'll do is we'll take up a small topic, discuss that small topic, and then solve one or two questions relating to that topic, right? So you get a good understanding of how to go about things. And then, if time permits, we'll do one mock paper. Either we'll do it on YouTube Live, or else I would just put up a pre recorded session that I do with my regular students in my regular classes. All right. But I'll try my best to put up one mock. Um, Now, the paper pattern of AFM, well, it's a 100-mark paper. Um See, technically, AFM is just a little bit advanced version of FM. So, those of you now, I know certain people would have received an exemption for FM, but those of you who have done FM, you realize that AFM is like probably 70% FM. In fact, in FM, you had so many topics, but in AFM, it is a more concentrated, more focused. Okay, not that many chapters, but a little more in detail, in depth, right? Well, it's a 3 hour, 15-minute paper. Now, remember that 15 minutes is just to read certain instructions. Technically, it's a 3 hour paper. Like the writing time that you will get is 3 hours, right? Keep in mind, you will be provided with a formula sheet. Uh, but it won't have all the formulas. A good idea would be in the practice platform, you can check out the formula sheet. Also on the ACCA Global official website, the AFM's formula sheet is available. Hmm. Excuse me. I have a little bit of cough and my voice is a little rough. Please pardon me for that. Um, so yeah, I was talking about the formula sheet. Go through those formulas that are available so you get a better idea that you don't spend time by hearting these things. See, the institute is not really checking whether you can remember formulas, whether you can do calculations. No. That is why a lot of spreadsheet functionalities are also available, like the NPV function, the IRR function, the MIRR function. In fact, very recently, they have also introduced the BSOP calculator. Okay, so the institute has made your lives very simple by providing you with all these tools or functionalities, right? So they are not really testing whether you can do calculations. A graduate can do a calculations. You are a professional. Think like a professional. Now, no longer do you need to have a student mentality, upgrade yourself, have a professional mentality, have a professional approach. Your opinion matters now, not whether you can do calculations. Therefore, a lot of formulas are already given, not all, but a lot of formulas are already given. You are given the annuity factor table, the discounting factor table. All right. Now, the paper is divided into two sections and a total of 3 questions. Okay. So, section A is a 50-mark question. Now, this 50 marks is split between 40 and 10. 10 marks is your professional marks. Now, in the previous attempts, this was around 5 marks. But now it has been hiked up, bumped up to 10 marks. Okay, which is further emphasizing that the institute wants you to start behaving and thinking like a professional. What are professional marks? We will come to it a little shortly. Okay, just understand that 40 marks are technical, what you write, what you calculate, and 10 marks are professional. And in section B, there are 2 questions, 25 marks each. Again, 20 marks are technical, 5 marks are professional. Previously, there were no professional marks for this section B, right? But things are changing. When I say previously, I'm talking a couple of years back, right? Now, one important thing, every exam will have questions which have a focus on syllabus section B, that is advanced investment appraisal, and syllabus section E, that is treasury and advanced risk management technique. Now, let me just show you the syllabus section. Okay. So see, this is the syllabus document from the ACCA global website. I'll just show you how the cover looks like. This is the document. Okay, syllabus and study guide, you will find it on the website, September 23 to June 24, right? And if you go over here, the entire syllabus is given. But most importantly, I think it's above. Just a moment. Yeah. Okay. Examination structure. So here it's written 3 hour 15 minutes examination, but keep in mind 15 minutes is just for reading instructions, whereas 3 marks is the 3 hours is the actual time you will be given. Now they have very explicitly mentioned that in section A, questions will ask candidates to produce response in a specific format. Okay, that is one, and very explicitly given that from at least 2 syllabus sections from A to E. Okay, so in section A, the questions are going to cover 2 topics, not one, but 2 different topics, right? It's one huge case study, 40-mark questions. And now we can't really say how the split will be, like 20-mark topic 1, 20-mark topic 2. We can't comment on the split. However, 2 topics will be tested, right? And it could come from anything, any of the topics. So you cannot really skip any topic. And one of the questions will ask you to write a report. Okay, a properly structured report. We will discuss the format shortly. Then section B, again, there are these professional marks. Okay, I forgot the professional marks in section A. So in section A, if you see the professional marks, all the professional skills will be tested, whereas in case of section B, uh, analysis and evaluation, skepticism, and commercial acumen will be tested. Okay, a minimum of 2 professional skills will be tested. So 2 or 3, right? Whereas in section A, all your professional skills will be tested. Again, in a very short time, we will be discussing professional skills as well, right? So section B, 20 mark technical, 5 mark professional. Professional will be testing on all these, right? All topics and syllabus sections will be examinable in either section A or section B of the exam, but every exam will have questions with focus on syllabus section B and E, which I wrote in my presentation as well. So see, most of my presentation is based on official documents provided by the institute, the official resources provided by the institute. So not a lot is from my own pocket. Okay, it's authentic, right from the institute. So that's what I've written over here. Focus on syllabus section B, that is advanced investment appraisal, and E, treasury and advanced risk management techniques. So what do these topics include? If we go through it, B and E. So B has your discounted cash flow techniques. It has applications of option pricing in investment decision. Okay, so your real options majorly. Impact of financing and impact of financing on investment decisions and APV. Valuation and use of free cash flows. International investment and financing decision. Okay, these are the topics covered in syllabus section B. And in syllabus section E, you have the role of the treasury function and in multinationals. Okay, a very often ignored topic by students. Keep in mind that theory 50% is asked, guaranteed. All right, so you cannot ignore theory. So many students just focus on the other 2 topics and they tend to ignore this. This is equally important. The use of financial derivatives to hedge against forex risk and the use of financial derivatives to hedge against interest rate risk. Okay, so 2 very, very, very important topics. Okay, just by preparing for these 3 topics, you could get a guaranteed question, and further these 6 topics. Okay, so work smart now. In fact, from the beginning only, you are supposed to work smart. So you understand that these 2 syllabus sections are, sorry, not section A, sorry, my mistake. Syllabus section B. So these 5 topics and these 3 topics are super crucial for you. Obviously, that doesn't imply or mean in whatever manner that the other topics are not important, but these are more important, right? Let's proceed. So we discussed the paper pattern. The syllabus we just saw. Syllabus section A, role of senior financial advisor in multinational organization. You could give it the least priority. Syllabus section B, advanced investment appraisal, most priority, most important. Syllabus section C, acquisitions and mergers, second priority. Okay, so it is important, but advanced investment appraisal more important. So priority number 1, then priority number 2 to syllabus section C, and priority number 2 to syllabus section D, that is corporate reconstruction and reorganization. Okay, so guaranteed B and E is going to come, but then there are 3 questions. So the third question can come from either 2. In fact, section A will be tested on 2 topics. So actually all 4 are going to come. Right? Now, corporate reconstruction and reorganization is priority number 2. And then syllabus section E, treasury and advanced risk management, priority number 1. So technically, if you see, there are only 5 major syllabus sections. So that's what I was trying to say, that AFM is a more focused approach, more narrow, more in-depth in those 4 sections only, right? And then you have professional skills and employability and technology skills. Professional skills we are going to discuss, as I mentioned earlier. Employability and technology skills is nothing but the institute is trying to make you employable ready, wherein in real world you are practicing or you are using computers, you are using spreadsheets, words, presentations. Now, leaving presentations aside, in the exam you will be tested on spreadsheets and Word docs, right? So, in order to ensure that you are comfortable using formulas, you are comfortable doing calculations on spreadsheets, you are comfortable typing on computer systems. All of this, the institute is ensuring by making the exams fully on computer on CBE platforms. A few years back, in fact, maybe probably 4 years back, exams were on paper and pen, like the traditional way. But the institute has taken this conscious decision to help the professionals be employable and more ready with real world scenarios. Okay, so that's your employability and technology skills. Now, section A, as we discussed, will be a report. So I am just giving you a suggested report structure. You could use this. So firstly, you address to whom the report is being written to. So to the board of directors and the name of the company, for example, Durang Company. From who are you? So you normally assume you can be the CFO, you could be the financial manager. They would, if they have mentioned it in the question that please write a report as the financial manager. In that case, you write financial manager. If nothing else is mentioned, you can assume that you are the financial manager. Okay. Subject, fraudulent investment, or subject will be a one-line sentence um, which very briefly describes what the report is about. Remember, do not write a big subject. A subject will be just in one line. In fact, you can do a copy paste or you could write the requirement in your own word in just one sentence as a subject. Okay. Then comes introduction. In introduction, whatever the requirements are, that you are just highlighting, because the report is about all the requirements, right? So you are writing that this report is about um, assessing the project, the proposed project of Durang Company or whatever, and then calculating the cost of capital and commenting. So whatever your requirements are, in very brief, you can write in introduction. You can either do a copy paste or write it in your own words. Okay. Again, a small paragraph, probably 3 lines should suffice, 3 to 4 lines, right? Then comes the main body. So what are you doing? Cost of capital, investment appraisal, whatever. You can appropriately title it. Give reference to all the appendix. See, now, whatever workings you are doing, understand this, all workings will be done on the spreadsheet and your report will be written on the word processor, right? So in the spreadsheet, you are supposed to label. When we solve, I'll show you how. Okay, but presentation is very, very, very crucial in AFM, and there are marks. So one of those professional marks, there is professional marks for your presentation. Just the fact that you present the report properly, there are marks to be on. Remember, 10 marks in section A. Okay, the 50-mark question, 10 marks is just professional marks. So just by writing the structure of the report correctly, you can earn marks. So these headings are important. The structure is important. Write it in paragraphs. It's important. The presentation is important. The working notes have to be in appendix number 1 and colon, name of that appendix. What are you doing? Okay, calculation of cost of equity. Appendix number 2, calculation of cost of debt. Appendix number 3, calculation of WACC, or you can just title Appendix 1, calculation of WACC, and then within it you have calculation of equity, cost of debt, WACC. Okay. Then appendix number 2, calculation of NPV. So properly number the appendix and label the appendix and present your calculation below it. And then in your report, refer to the relevant appendix as per the calculations in appendix number 1. Okay, like that, refer to appendix. Then assumptions made. What are the assumptions that you have made while doing the calculation? Now you would say, Paritosh, I honestly didn't make any assumptions. Well, if you are doing a CAPM based calculation, okay, where you are finding cost of equity using CAPM, well, you have made an assumption that your and say for example you are ungearing beta and regearing beta. So what you have done, you have assumed that your business risk, the new business that you are planning on undertaking, your business risk is equal to the proxy business risk that you have taken, because you are taking another asset, you are taking a proxy beta which you are ungearing. The proxy beta could be of an industry, or it could be of a relevant competitor or a peer, okay, of a similar size with a similar business nature of business. So you are assuming that the proxy beta will be your beta. In CAPM, you are assuming that the shareholder is a diversified investor and needs compensation only for systematic risk. So write that down, whatever the assumptions are of certain methods, right? So these assumptions that implicitly you are kind of making. In case of what is the other thing? If it's a question on say risk management, okay, one assumption that you commonly make is basis reduces to 0 in a linear manner, in a constant manner, which is not true practically. In real world, that doesn't happen. It's an assumption that you are making. So write down, list down the assumptions that you have made. Again, not in points, but in a paragraph form, a brief paragraph. Around 3 to 4 lines would suffice, or 2-3 lines would also suffice. Okay. Then other factors to consider before making a final decision, right? So mention all other factors. See, understand, in the question, what you are answering is majorly from a financial angle, but you would have to look at it from ESG, environmental angle, from social angle, from governance point of view, from a practicality point of view, from say for example, when you are looking at social factors, you are looking at society, you are looking at cultural differences, you are looking at environmental point of view, you are looking at from sustainability point of view. Sorry, ESG, sustainability, not society, sustainability. Okay. So whether this business is sustainable, whether it's environmental friendly, whether it's beneficial for the society, whether from look at it from different stakeholders. Okay. So these are the other factors that you would consider. So you're highlighting those factors. And then a conclusion. Now, I do not want a one-line conclusion. Write a proper paragraph. Okay. You would be surprised that many students do not write a report structure whatsoever. And what is even more shocking is they just miss out the entire conclusion. What a lot of students do is they just do the calculation, and in one sentence that, okay, the NPV is positive, go ahead with the project. That's it. That's their conclusion. Okay. So how do you write a conclusion? The strategic NPV of Frontland project is positive. In fact, I would suggest start the statement with given the information, okay, and given the information considered in appendix 1 to appendix 9 or whatever, the strategic NPV of the Frontline project, or given the information in the case above, the strategic NPV of the Frontline project is positive, so the project is financially viable. Why I suggest starting your statement with given the above information is because, um, see, understand that whatever data is given are all estimates. Or rather than writing given the above information, given the estimates in the case above, okay, you could start that way, or given the forecasts in the case above, or estimates. So they understand right off that you have an understanding that whatever numbers are given in the question, they are all estimates, they are all forecasts, they are forward looking statements, right? So given the above forecast, the strategic NPV, or the given the above forecast in the question and appendix, the strategic appendix number 1 to 9 or whatever, the strategic NPV of Frontline project is positive, so the project is financially viable, because all these numbers are from a financial lens. So it is financially liable. However, before making a final decision on whether to go ahead, there are a lot of other factors to consider, such as cultural, ethical, and other issues. Sustainability, environmental, whatever. We have discussed those in a paragraph above. Okay, discuss above in the other factors to consider. Also, the calculations are based on a number of assumptions and estimate. Okay, so okay, you need not then, in that case, if you're mentioning this, you need not start the statement with that. So you're separately mentioning that the calculations are based on a number of assumption and estimates. So simulation or sensitivity analysis would be useful to identify the important assumptions that need to be made. Okay, I think it's not complete, but whatever. So what you are doing, you are telling the board of directors that, hey, listen, you asked me to do NPV, I did it for you. However, I suggest further that please do simulation or sensitivity analysis. In sensitivity analysis, you will understand, since all these calculations are based on forecast, you will understand which forecasts are super crucial. What if my sales fall by, if we realize that in sensitivity analysis we find out, or we discover that if sales fall by 5%, my NPV turns 0. So this project is very sensitive to the sale estimates or the sale forecast made. So you know this is important then. And then you can say, oh, the project was NPV positive. However, it is super sensitive to sales, and sales after 3 years can very well fall by 3% or 5% or whatever the sensitivity margin is. So you don't have a lot of room for change in sales. So you will say, let's not go ahead with the project. But for that, you need to do sensitivity analysis. You understand? You are thinking from a professional point of view. It's no longer a student mentality. You are suggesting things. You are suggesting things which is beyond what is asked in the question. Right? Now moving on to professional marks. So communication is tested, as we saw that all the professional skills are tested in section A. So professional skill number 1 is communication, which includes your report structure, the format of the report, the headings, the subheadings. Are you making it bold? The style of the report, all of it matters. Clarity and presentation of calculations along with its appendix. How you are presenting your calculations in your spreadsheet. Are you labeling them? Are you giving it relevant appendix numbers? There are marks for it. Answers focus on the scenario provided with a very brief introduction and explaining the content that follows. See, understand whatever you communicate in the report has to be only relating to the case above. Do not be very generic. Okay? Pick up points from the question, from what is asked, from the case study only. Explain the content that follows, so if a statement is made in the question, you can explain it if need be, right? Then comes analysis and evaluation. So communication is majorly tested in section A only because it has a report, so that structure and the appendix and all of that is majorly relevant over there, right? Especially the report structure. Then analysis and evaluation. Okay, that doesn't mean that you stop using appendixes and proper headings for calculations in section B. No, that has to be there in all sections, A and B, all questions. Then moving on, analysis and evaluation. Another skill. This will be tested in both A and B. Okay, so this usually students get well, right? Using the data available for calculation, using all the appropriate data to provide in exhibits to draw conclusions. So based on the appendix, based on the calculations which you have used, which you have done, using the appropriate data, you are drawing you are drawing conclusions by analyzing all that data. Okay, then you're looking at further analysis that is required or other calculation that you suggest, you feel are relevant to this particular scenario or case. Okay, mentioning the lack of data, that you do realize that certain figures are not given, so you have assumed something. Mention of lack of data. Balance appraisal leading to a justified conclusion. Now understand, see, never lean your appraisal or never lean your conclusion to one part of it only, that you must do this. Okay, give a very balanced appraisal wherein you are looking at going left also, going right also, and then you suggest, but I suggest going right. You suggest whether the merger, if you do the merger, if you don't do the merger, talk about both the points. Okay, whether you do the project or you do not do the project, talk about both the points. Look at every scenario possible. Have a balanced appraisal. Okay. Then skill number 3, skepticism. Now, this students find a little difficult to do. That is having a questioning approach or a questioning mindset. You are being a skeptic. Is the information provided even possible in real world? Or you can challenge the information and assumptions used. Or you can stress on it that only if this happens do I go for it, which may or may not be true or may not materialize. Demonstrate the ability to probe or notice missing information that would impact the final decision. You're being a skeptic, you feel that, oh, this information is not available. If this information would be available, my answer could change. Okay, so have a professional judgment to draw conclusions. Professionals are always skeptic. They don't take anything on face value, right? Since they have years of experience, they by naturally become skeptics. But you as students, for you it will be difficult. So pay special attention of being a skeptic. Okay, obviously, see, challenge in a logical way, not for the sake of challenging, right? Then commercial, the last skill number 4, commercial acumen. So skill 2 to 4 will be tested in both sections. Skill number 1, that is communication, is majorly tested in section A only. Right? So commercial acumen is what works and doesn't work in the real world. That is Whatever information is given, is it practical? Identify the external constraints and opportunities. Other than this, what could you also do? What are the opportunities out there in the real world? The possible consequence of your past and future actions, or your actions in the present, in the future, potential impact it could have in the real world scenario. So that's your commercial acumen. Right now, very quickly, you can just go through this. It's pretty self-explanatory, so I'm not going to spend. You can just pause. You can see what all changes are there in the syllabus. Nothing major has been changed. Just some increased emphasis on ESG. Okay, environmental. Sorry, it's social, not sustainability. Environmental, social, and governance. ESG. Sorry, my bad. Earlier I said that it's sustainability, but environmental, social, and governance. And in environmental, you can also speak about sustainability, or in social also. Okay, so yeah, these are all. You could just pause and read through, or it's available in your syllabus document also from the institute's website. In fact, these are just screenshots that I've copied from there. Nothing new per se, except for this A3, that is section has been reviewed and amended to incorporate ESG. And then increased importance of green finance. Okay, so syllabus section B, subsection 3 and C, subsection C. B5, nothing major. CD1, nothing major. Outcome has been expanded to include more alternative methods which reflect recent trends. So for special purpose acquisition companies, this could be an important change. Okay, syllabus section C1F. Then this is not too important, syllabus section C2. And C2D could be a little important, wherein outcome expanded to include loss-making companies which are not also startups. So since these are changes, so there could be a possibility these major. So this one, okay, loss-making startups, SPACs, special purpose acquisition companies, ESG, and green finance. Okay, so a little special attention to these since changes have been made over there. Now, um, given today, you have around 11 to 12 days left. Okay, including today, I'm saying, I think including today, it's 12 days left. Have a study plan, right? You still have some time on hand, right? I am assuming that you have been practicing, at least my students, as per the instructions that I've given you all, you have been practicing from the exam kits, okay, which have been provided to you. I hope you are following it, um, and doing quizzes on the ACCA study hub. Okay, now you have last 11, 12 days remaining. Dedicate 2 days per topic. So start off with the most important topics, 2 days each. So that is 4 days. And in those 2 days each, what you are doing is one day you are doing one section A style question, and you are doing three section B style questions. Okay. So say, for example, you are doing advanced investment appraisal. That is the most important topic. So you're doing one question of section A in a day, and then you are doing three questions of section B in a day. So typically you are kind of like doing one paper and plus one additional section B style question. Okay. So do that too. So at the end of 2 days, you would be covering like two section A questions and six section B questions in all. Then similarly, you will do next 2 days for uh, risk management. So you will take both. You have two types of risk majorly. One is forex. One is, so one day you will take forex questions only. One day you will do what do you say, interest rate risk only. Okay, then move on to the other important topics. Again, 2 days each. So you will do corporate reconstruction 2 days, then mergers acquisition 2 days. Again, similar approach, one section A question and three section B questions. And then the last 2 days left, I want you to do 2 mocks a day. If not two, at least do one mock. Or try to do 1.5 mock, like in the sense that, or at least, okay, forget 1.5, at least do one mock. So that way you would be done with two proper mocks. See, logically thinking that these 10 days you are kind of just doing a mock, because every day you are solving one question section A and you are solving three questions section B. In fact, you are doing a little more than a exam, a typical exam. But just that mock is a little different. Now, how do we approach mocks? Okay, those last 2-3 mocks that you are going to do, how do you do it? First and foremost, do it only and only on the CBE practice platform, right? In fact, you have a pre-mock paper already available, which you have to do, right? You have to do it only on the platform and you have to do it under exam conditions. So what do I mean by exam conditions? Imagine you are in the exam hall. Imagine you are actually giving the exam, stimulate the exam. So whatever time you plan on giving the exam, say for example, you are giving the exam at 9 a.m. So at 9 a.m., open your system, whatever, desktop, laptop, whatever it is, inform everyone at home, your friends, family, that you are giving an exam. Keep your mobile phone aside. Okay, no papers, nothing in front of you, right? Time yourself. Now, when you are practicing in these 10 days, okay, time yourself. How much time are you taking for a section A? In fact, I would suggest that split. So, if you know your exam, so when you're giving the mock, okay, uh, I plan to give the exam for at 9 a.m. Okay, that's your official exam time. So, say you are giving the 9 a.m. slot. So, you will measure, all right, 9 a.m. For section A, I have allotted, say, 90 minutes. Okay. So, that's 1.5 hours. So, 9, 10, 30, section A. So, you can just continuously keep looking at the watch every now and then and realize, oh, once 10:30 is up, I change. I move on to section B, irrespective of whether I've completed section A or not. Because it is super crucial for you to attempt the entire paper. I've heard a few students say that, Paritosh, unfortunately, I couldn't complete the paper, in the sense that I couldn't attempt the entire paper. Right? See, what happens is students get so involved in the question, and especially when difficult topics are asked, or see, there's no concept per se as a difficult topic. It's like your comfortable topic and non-comfortable topic. Now, if a question is asked from a topic that you're not very confident or comfortable with, firstly, mentally, there is a shift, there is some anxiety kicking in, okay, there, because you're not confident on it, right? And then secondly, you start reading and you don't understand things, or you feel a little lost because it's your weakness, that topic. And what happens in this process is you waste. You're just trying to throw some punches in the air. It's not hitting anything. You're not achieving anything. And all that is happening is time is being spent. Okay. And then you just spend a lot of time. You end up spending maybe an hour, 45 minutes in section A, or probably even 2 hours in section A. And then you just realize, oh, I don't have time for section B. Okay, so this time management is very, very important. In fact, we will be discussing time management a little more in detail a little shortly in the next slides. Okay, so time yourself, break it down, write the descriptive parts as well. See, this is another, in my experience, when initially I used to correct mock papers, also, I often realized that students become very lazy with theory questions. They just don't bother. What they do is they'll do the calculations and they'll say, "Sir, I'll do the theory later. I'll type it down later." No, in the mock, at least it is super. In fact, not only mock, even an exam kit that you are doing, which you are practicing on your CB platform, you have to type the answers. It is non-negotiable because a lot of you, your typing speed may not be quick. A lot of you would just read and you would be like, "Oh, okay, I understood." But to reproduce and write it and be familiar with all the formatting tools available to present it in a certain manner, writing reports in the certain structure with headings, with appendix numbering, all of that will not come to you on exam day unless you practice. All right. So it is super, super, super crucial to do it. You have to write the descriptive parts as well. You cannot ignore it, non-negotiable. Compare the answer to the solution. So once you have attempted the mock, compare it, self-correct it. You will get an idea how the marking is done. You will get an idea what all difficulties you faced. You will get an idea how the answers were to be written and what is the suggested format. So you will be able to course correct yourself. Minimum solve 2 to 3 mocks. In fact, 4 is suggested. If you could do like 2 mocks a day, nothing like it. Best thing. And it is pretty possible. 1 mock in the morning, 1 mock in the evening. Adequate break in between. Okay, it is very much possible. And then what this would achieve is, see, I have prepared today's entire presentation from the point of view that there are only 11 days left. For my students, I have presented a slightly different one because we had about a month left with us, because that's how we typically do. We complete the portion a month prior so that you all have time to practice and solve questions and do these mocks, right? Practice is essential. It's the key to success, I would say. Okay, so please do the mocks in the last 2 days that you have on hand. Now, moving on, the ACCA exam support or the study resources available on the website. Okay, so you have various support articles like the examiner's report. I highly, highly recommend you take one day and go through the last 4 reports. Very important. In fact, I would suggest the day before the exam, you don't do anything, you just go through these reports. That's it. Just read through. No need to solve anything, just read through. The reason being, there's a lot of insight in those reports. I have just opened one report over here. Okay. See, this is the AFM March-June 2023 examiner's report. What is the report about? The examining team shares their observations from the marking process to highlight the strengths and the weaknesses in the candidates' performances and to offer constructive advice for those sitting in the exam in the future. Right? In this report, they are discussing 3 questions. Section A, Joshua. Section B, question 2, Oxwick, and Black Bosca. Okay, so all 3 questions are discussed In fact, you will get this paper also on the practice platform. So the examiner's report should be used in conjunction with the published March-June 23 sample paper that can be found on ACCA practice platform. In fact, what I would suggest is one pre-mock you are doing of December. The other pre-mock you could possibly do, sorry, the other mock you could do is this paper. It's available on your platform. So you have already solved it, you have corrected it, and then you are reading the examiner's report also on it. Okay, the paper format we have already discussed. Remember, 80 is the technical mark, whereas 20 is professional marks. They are speaking about time management. It's a 50-mark question, 90 minutes. Okay, you can read all this. Question scenario. What are the requirements? Discuss the agency problem, how to go about it. Everything is discussed. And also, they have discussed professional marks. You would be shocked to know that there are still a surprising number of candidates who forget to write the conclusion or do not present their answer in a report form. And they lose valuable marks. You didn't clear the exam by 1 or 2 marks. It is painful. You could easily score these marks in professional. Again, 20 marks professional. Section A, 10 marks. Okay. So go through these. Now, these are very much relevant to the question asked. Right. So say, for example, when you're looking at analysis and evaluation, okay, did not submit a balance appraisal. Then in skepticism, so they have given a very relevant skepticism. So for B4, where there is an opportunity to question the rationale for the acquisition, why do you want to acquire, and the board's motivation for the offer, you could have challenged that. So when you read the question, you will understand, oh, I could. So that's how you're training to become a. That is why it is important for you to read at least 4 reports. In addition, marks could be gained for demonstrating the ability to probe into the reasons for the issues, such as questioning the impact of the variables in calculation of the additional value. Commercial acumen, few candidates were able to demonstrate commercial acumen still by relating their discussion and information into the scenario of to the real world. In this scenario, candidates could have enhanced their discussion of risk diversification by relating it to institutional shareholders like pension funds who diversify across a wide range of markets. Okay, probably in the question it is mentioned that it is a listed company and majority of the shareholders are institutional shareholders. So you are very practically, in a real world point of view, thinking from their angle that they have diversified portfolios across markets. Okay, so like this information is very insightful, very helpful. Again, relating to section B's first question, what are the analysis and evaluation? What could be the possible skepticism that you could have demonstrated? For example, how realistic is it in real world economics to assume inflation remaining constant for 4 years? Just by reading these things, you will start, oh, I can inculcate these in my answers. It's a very nice hack to gain professional marks or train your mind to start gaining professional marks. Right? So, the examiner's report, often ignored by students, super important. Technical articles and topic explainer, okay, gives you more examples. In fact, in the next slide, I think it's in the next slide. Yeah, in the next slide, we will discuss certain important or at least certain articles that I recommend you read once. Just read it. understand it. Okay. Examining teams guidance and examining exam techniques provided by experts on the ACCA resource, on the ACCA website. These are all provided to you for free by the institute themselves. So why not utilize it? The CBE practice platform, another brilliant tool given by which other exam helps you stimulate the actual exam, or which institute enables you to stimulate the actual exam, the same format, everything, the same platform for free, gives you mocks for free. Okay, why not use it? The study hub, entire study resource is available on the study hub. Quickly go through the summary, because now there is not much time left. That is why I just suggest go through the summary, take help of flashcards to understand concepts, and attempt the quizzes. Okay, this is the website, or you could even Google AFM ACCA study resources, and you will arrive at this website. This is how it looks. Okay, this is the official ACCA global website, and these are all the subheadings that I was talking about. Okay, past exams and practice questions are available on the CBE platform. Mocks are available on the CBE platform. The formula sheet is available. Okay, go through it, and here are your technical articles. Okay, when you click on this, you get all these various articles. Okay, so many articles are available. Right, all these red, the ones in red. Now, say for example, currency swaps. You click on it, and then you can read about currency swaps along with examples and everything. Okay, so I suggest that, or rather, we suggest that go through the technical articles on business valuation. I've used the exact article name, so you could just do a control F and find the exact business valuation article. Okay, go through using real options when making financial strategy decision. Okay, often ignored by students. They think that, oh, real options could not be asked, but if it's asked, then they feel a little lost. Securitization and tranching. Again, this was something that led to the whole 2008 crisis. Very important to know. Islamic finance, especially sukuk bonds, practical use of it, exchange traded foreign exchange derivatives, and currency swaps. So all these articles, please go through it once. Right. So probably if you plan on giving not two mocks a day, if you're just giving if you're just giving one mock a day, then the balance time you can use in reading articles and doing the examiner's what is it called, examiner's report. All right. Now, do not ignore theory. 50% of the exam is theory. Read theory to understand, never by heart it. Okay, have a conceptual understanding of it so that you can apply in the exam. See, memorizing and reproducing it in the exam is not going to help you, because the question will be very situational. Okay, probably if there are certain five advantages, but only three would apply to this particular company, right? So it would be situational. You have to very logically answer these. You have to understand the requirements asked and accordingly answer. How to prepare for theory? Well, you could go through the study hub. You could go through whatever, if there are other preferred publications you have, you could go through it, or our notes. You need to practice from the exam kit, the theory questions, and that is going to help you prepare for theory. So you get to understand what sort of questions come in the exam. You get to understand how the theory is written and presented, right? Why use the CBE platform? Because obviously practice makes one perfect. practice not only would help you attain perfection, but practice will help you build confidence and will build a positive mindset also. The CBE platform will help stimulate the actual exam. It will help you become familiar with the user interface, especially those of you who have gotten as exemption. For you, the interface would be different, would be new. So it'll get you familiar with it. It will help you understand how to use the formats, okay, the formatting tools, how to bold, how to use highlights, okay, how to use the format, the numbers, all the different tools available to you, like how to write formulas, how to flag, word processors, spreadsheets, how to use, how to do the calculations on spreadsheet with the brackets and everything, and also helps you improve your typing speed. Okay, so therefore it is, you have to only use the CB practice platform, not Microsoft Excel, not Google Sheets, nothing, just the practice platform when you are solving exam kits and doing mocks. Okay, certain common mistakes that many students make is read questions in a hurry, and they are missing out that they have to fulfill, like there are multiple requirements asked for, or they miss out on certain important data points. They do not answer what is asked, they feel like answering what they know. Okay, so please read the question properly, understand what is the question being asked, and answer as per that. Avoid unnecessary sorry, avoid unnecessary details, avoid repeating the same thing again and again. uh, Avoid expanding, writing super long things. Just be relevant. No need to make points just for the sake of it. Be relevant, save time. You don't have the time to write super long answers. Keep it crisp, keep it to the point. That doesn't mean you do not have a balanced approach. You look at it from various angles. Look at the pros and the cons. Don't just look at the pros. Okay, like you saw the conclusion, it was a balanced conclusion wherein you said you have to look at other factors also, wherein you mentioned you have to, like, you are suggesting sensitivity margins, sorry, sensitivity analysis. Why? Because calculations are based on forecasts. So it was a holistic approach, a balanced approach, right? Another reason why students, like another common mistake is they don't have a time management plan only. Poor time management. And therefore, they do not complete the paper on time. Right? We'll come to that time management shortly. Ignoring professional marks, another common mistakes. As we saw in the examiner report, examiners have observed students not writing in structure or format, not writing a conclusion at all, or one sentence a conclusion, not giving headings, not using bold, not highlighting the final answer in the spreadsheets, final figure, basically, like if you're doing WAC calculation, just highlight WAC. Okay. And skipping topics, ignoring theory. Oh, this won't come. Okay, let's skip it. You can't skip anything. That's the surprise element. Institute every year they just surprise that they would ask some question which was least expected. Best things you can do to ensure that you clear the exam, or would help you clear the exam. Do not ignore any topics. Okay, see, certain things would be repetitive. They are repetitive in nature because I am further emphasizing on those points. Time management, right? Now, take 85 minutes. Now, I know in the examiner's report, they mentioned 90 minutes. I would suggest take 85 minutes. So how you're breaking up, allocate only 85 minutes. Okay, so 1 hour, 25 minutes, basically, right? Out of which I would suggest spend 1 hour section A doing easy questions. Okay, when you read the requirements, you realize that, okay, one more thing, it is a good idea to go with the flow, like question 1A, question 1B, question 1C. But if you find question 1A is difficult for you, you are more comfortable with question 1B, start with it. No need to leave space or anything, just label the question number properly. That is why another important reason why labeling is important. Okay, you are labeling the solution to question 1A or solution to question 1. So you did first question 1A, then you are doing immediately you are doing question 1C. So write question 1C properly, presentation. Okay, and so basically collect the low hanging fruits first. What is easy for you? What are your comfortable topics? Do them first. Okay, in section A. So 60 marks you are spending to collect the easy ones. In section B also you can probably spend 30 minutes doing the easy parts first. Play to your strengths, not to your weakness. See, everyone, nobody is perfect. There are strengths and weaknesses. So play to your strengths, capitalize on your strengths, and earn those low hanging fruits first. Score there. Okay, do the easy things first and then move on to things you are less confident about. Okay, so 60 marks you could spend on easy questions in section A, 30 marks, 30 minutes you can spend on section B, easy questions. And then you can come back to section A, do all the difficult ones. You have about 25 minutes left, time yourself, do it. But have a plan, is what I'm trying to say. And execute that plan in your mock with a regular watch at the clock, at the time. So you write the plan down. Okay, 9 to 10, I'm going to do easy section A. Then 10 to 10:30, easy section B, question 1. 10:30 to 11:30, easy section B, question 2. Then 11 to 11:25 is the complicated section A. 11:25 to whatever 11:35 section B, easy. Complex. Then for whatever 11:30 to 11:45 complicated section B, second question. And last 15 minutes is your buffer time, wherein you can see all overview. Now if you want, you keep that 15 minutes, otherwise I understand timing is tight, but if you are able to manage those extra 15 minutes, it's going to help you a lot. It is going to just very quickly, you have an overview, you can better your presentation, you can check if the cell referencing are done properly, you can check if the denomination is properly mentioned, millions, dollars, is there any silly mistakes you have done over here. Very quickly, 5 minutes per question you can spend. Okay, so 15 minutes to recheck all your questions. Read the 4 examiners report. This is minimum I'm suggesting. If you can do more, nothing like it. Minimum 3 marks, please do. Okay. And technically, as I said, while you are in those next 10 days, the 6 plus 4 that we decided, okay, you are kind of doing, 4 plus 6 that we decided. What was it? Sorry, the 4 plus 4, 8 days. Okay, you are technically kind of doing your mocks only, right? Because if you think about it, you are doing one entire paper plus another question. Only difference is you're not timing yourself, which is important. So in the last 2 days, you are doing that, right? Sticking to the plan, the time management plan that you have made for yourself, right? Exam tips: attempt the comfortable topics and questions first. Read and understand the questions properly. A very common mistake, they don't understand the question only. Structure and headings like appendix, everything properly should be given. Attempt all question, do not rush through the narrative, have a very positive mindset, and only then give the exam. That you can develop by practicing and planning. See, if you have practiced, the actual exam is just another question for you. When you practice, you become confident. Oh, I've done so many questions on risk management. I've done so many questions on forex hedging. That is just another forex hedge question in the paper. You are positive, you are confident about it. There is no anxiety, there is no negativity kicking in. Anxiety and negativity is going to hamper your performance. So we don't need it. But how to control it? Well, by practicing and gaining confidence. Then the anxiety will not creep in, or at least there is less probability of it creeping in. Plan it out, write a plan. Okay, 10 days left. What am I going to do? I have given you a suggested plan. You can plan something else, but write it and follow it. Okay, so to conclude, practice makes you perfect. Learn from your past mistakes. When you're practicing, you will make mistakes. Learn from them, course correct, make mistakes now, not in the exam. Be confident again by practicing. Believe that you can clear it in the first attempt. You got it. I believe in you. You work hard, you work smart in the way that I suggested. I believe in you. You will clear in the first attempt. Any help, anything you want from us, please feel free to comment down below. My team will reach out to you if you want a certain presentation, you want whatever. Say tomorrow onwards, we'll be starting with certain question solving. If you want those sheets, ask. We'll send it to you. All right. So please, I hope today's session was helpful. I hope I could add some value today. Thank you so much for your time. I am Paritosh Panchal. We'll meet again tomorrow, same time, wherein we will discuss advanced investment appraisal. So, all the very best. Kill it in the exam. See you all tomorrow. God bless you.